Bakery Idioms. Idioms Activation Pack. Break bread. To break bread with someone is to have a meal with them, over which you can talk and discuss any differences you may have. I've always found that the best way to resolve conflicts is to get others to sit down with you and break bread. If people would only break bread together more often, there would be far less violence in the world. Break bread comes from references in the New Testament, and it's a rather formal idiom. Bread and butter. The work or activity that you do on a daily basis to earn your regular income is known as your bread and butter. Teaching students online through Skype is my bread and butter. I'm keen as mustard about writing and hope that my books will eventually become my bread and butter. This idiom comes from the fact that our basic income buys our necessities, such as bread and butter. Crackers. Someone who's insane or behaving in a crazy manner, or something which seems to be a crazy idea or situation, is crackers. I thought I was going crackers until I realised that she was a twin, and I'd been speaking to her twin sister by mistake. My grandmother would have thought the idea of driverless cars was completely crackers. A cracker is a type of dry bread biscuit often served with cheese. Crumpet. A person who is sexually attractive can be referred to as a bit of crumpet. Who's that actress who always plays the role of very intelligent women and that most consider to be the thinking man's crumpet? I didn't know whether to be flattered or offended when he introduced me as his bit of crumpet. A crumpet is a type of soft cake made with flour and yeast, generally toasted, and spread with butter. This usage is frowned upon today as politically incorrect. Earn crust. To earn a crust is to earn enough money to live on by whatever means you can. I've done a lot of jobs in my time to earn an honest crust. Unless you belong to the upper crust and have a private income, you need a job to earn a crust. Similar idioms are bring home the bacon and bread and butter. Crusty. An elderly person who's not afraid to say what they mean in a rude or harsh manner is crusty. How can you stand to be the secretary for that crusty old sod? It must be a nightmare working in his office. One of the advantages of getting old is that you can become a crusty old man and get away with telling people exactly what you think of them without fear of them beating you up. Best thing since sliced bread. A new invention that saves time and effort is sometimes referred to as the best thing since sliced bread. I used to have to do my research at the library, but nowadays I can use the internet. As far as I'm concerned, the internet is the best thing since sliced bread. I don't have a smartphone as I think they're too intrusive and take over people's lives. Perhaps I'm a little old-fashioned because everyone else seems to think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. Before the days of sliced bread, bread came in the form of uncut loaves and had to be cut by hand with a knife. If you've ever tried cutting a loaf of bread with a knife, you'll know that it can be quite difficult to cut regular slices. When ready sliced bread became available, the tedious task of cutting bread by hand was, for many, a thing of the past. Many people thought that sliced bread was a wonderful invention. Upper crust. The highest social class, the upper class, are often referred to as being upper crust. Cultivating a posh accent is not going to convince anybody that you're part of the upper crust if you don't have any money. Had it not been for the Japanese invasion of Singapore, I would have been born with a silver spoon in my mouth, as my family were part of the upper crust back then. Bun in the oven. A woman who is pregnant is said to have a bun in the oven. A little bird told me that Jane's got a bun in the oven. I've put on a lot of weight over the past few months and people are beginning to think I've got a bun in the oven. A bun in the oven is cooking and will soon be ready to remove and eat. This is where the humorous idiom comes from. Piffy on a rock bun. Someone or something that's very noticeable and conspicuous, but is nevertheless excluded from an activity or from a group, is like Piffy on a rock bun. Having plucked up the courage to go to the party, I was left sitting on my own like Piffy on a rock bun. Have you ever seen those meetings where the big cheeses sit around the table, while the small fry sit behind them like Piffy on a rock bun? In the UK, a rock bun is a hard bun like a scone with currants. What Piffy is, nobody seems to know. Finger in the pie. If you have your finger in the pie, then you have some active involvement in something. I'm afraid I don't have any say in the matter, as I don't have a finger in the pie. I know you want to have a finger in the pie, but I'm afraid you're just not qualified enough. See also finger in too many pies. Humble pie. When you've been compelled to admit that you're wrong about something and have had to apologise, you've had to eat humble pie. He thinks he's so clever, but I'm sure that in the near future he'll be eating humble pie. I loved it when the Prime Minister was forced to eat humble pie because of the numerous mistakes she made during the campaign. In American English they have similar idioms: eat crow, eat dirt. Nice as pie. A person who is engagingly pleasant and friendly, especially when you felt that they wouldn't be, is as nice as pie to you. I'll never forget when my boss called me into his office and I felt he was going to sack me, but instead he was as nice as pie. With all his tattoos, he looks as though he might be someone you wouldn't want to meet on a dark night, but he's actually nice as pie. Easy as pie. When something is very easy, takes very little effort, and is even pleasurable, it's as easy as pie. When you can sit back and dictate to your computer without having to type on the keyboard, writing a book is as easy as pie. How did you manage to hit the gatepost? The gap's so wide that it's easy as pie to get a car in the driveway. This idiom comes not from the making of a pie, but the ease of eating one. Finger in too many pies. Someone who's involved in so many tasks or activities that they can do none of them particularly well has their finger in too many pies. You never actually get anything finished because you have your finger in too many pies. I used to have my finger in too many pies, but I realised that it was more important to concentrate on one thing at a time. See also finger in the pie. Pie in the sky. A good idea which is unlikely to be realised is, like an impossible dream or an empty promise, pie in the sky. I had a friend once who always dreamt of having a small cottage in France. But as he talked about his dreams, I could tell they were pie in the sky. In a year's time, I'll be running my own business empire, and I can assure you that this is not pie in the sky. This idiom comes from 1911, from a union song of the International Workers of the World, which went, "Work and pray, live on hay, you'll get pie in the sky when you die." This referred to the promise of a reward after death, at the end of a long working life. Knuckle sandwich. To threaten to punch someone in the mouth with your fist is to threaten them with a knuckle sandwich. If you don't get out of my face, I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich. The only time I was assaulted as a police officer was when a 5-year-old gypsy girl gave me a knuckle sandwich. Warm as toast. When it's cold outside but you are comfortably warm within your house or are well wrapped up against the elements, you might say that you're as warm as toast. You look like you're freezing. You should have brought a coat like I did. I'm as warm as toast. I lived in a 300-year-old house in England where, in winter, I wasn't so much warm as toast as cold as ice. This idiom originated in England in the 15th century as hot as toast, but by the early 19th century it had become as warm as toast. This may be because the English serve their toast in toast racks, which ensure that it gets cold very quickly. Idioms Activator. Now that you've seen, heard and read the idioms and their meanings, it's time to activate them and make them part of your active vocabulary. You can do this by using the Idioms Activator, which I've designed to give you plenty of practice in listening, reading and writing the idioms you've learned in this Idiom Activation Pack. To break bread with someone is to have a meal with them over which you can talk and discuss any differences you may have. Yes, that's right. I loved it when the Prime Minister was forced to eat humble pie because of the numerous mistakes she had made during the campaign. No, I'm afraid that's wrong. Yes, that's right. Dictionary. There's a good chance that some of the words used in this activation pack will be new to you. To help you out, I've compiled an extensive dictionary of the vocabulary used in this activation pack. The dictionary gives you the meanings of all the words used in this activation pack. You can download the dictionary as a PDF document from the resources link at the top left of the activation pack. Idiom Activation Packs. These Idiom Activation Packs are designed to help you activate your English skills. I've been helping students learn, remember and use the all-important idiomatic expressions for many years, and now I want to reach many more students by using the latest technology. I've designed these idiom activation packs to make learning British English idioms as easy and enjoyable as possible. You can pay what you want for each pack, or you can get unlimited access to my growing library of activation packs with a membership subscription. Membership subscriptions. Britlish now offers 3 memberships from just €8 a month: monthly, biannual, annual. Each membership subscription gives you unlimited access to the rapidly growing library of activation packs at Britlish.com. Learn more at Britlish.com. Online English classes. If you really want to improve your English faster than you ever thought possible, online English classes are for you. I've taught many thousands of online English classes since 2006. My students find that online English classes are the most convenient way to learn English. Wherever you have an internet connection, you can have your English classes. At home, in the office, or even in the park. Wherever you are, I'll come to you. Book an introductory class at Britlish.com today and see how online English classes can help you get the level of English you've always dreamed of.